Hey guys, welcome back. Jay here. And today we're going to be talking about ungating because it's one of the most important things for the business, whether you're a beginner or trying to get off the ground running to build the business and you keep running into the ungating hurdle. And this video is going to save you a lot of time and money when it comes to ungating. And I've been in this business for 4.5 years now and I've heard every single story and method of when it comes to ungating. And I want to save you guys all the time and money in the world by just watching this video and understanding my process and what I tell other people to do when they're getting their business off the ground running, okay? So first of all, I want you to show you guys and want you to take a mental snapshot of what I'm showing you right here with these products and with these sales. So this was in the very early days of my Amazon business. This was about $1,800 in sales. I think it was about $400 to $500 in profit. They were good ROI, good margin products. And these were the first products that I sold in the business, okay? We have a gold bond product, not very niche, it's a little bit more name brand, but we have Gly Oxide, probably something you've never heard about, and then we have Camphor Phenique, and this was actually the first product that I ever sold. It was some sort of pain or itch relief cream, and it did well because it was good for bug spray during the summer. So I want you guys to take a mental snapshot of that as we go through this and then come back to this at the end of how impactful these products were and how I was able to sell them basically day one as a beginner when it came to ungating, and I didn't have to run into that, okay? Now, something extremely important to note that I want you guys to know is that I've applied for ungating with an invoice 5 times in 4 years. So now think about that for a second, right? Because I know you go through ungating, you see all these different catalog or categories and brands that you're gated in, and you go to hit request to approval, you're not auto ungated, and you get to buy 100 units, buy 400 units, buy 10 units, and you get that same response. And that exact process I've done 5 times in my entire career when it comes to the Amazon business. Not always successful, but pretty successful some of the time. And that's been for different categories like, OTC, or it's been for different brands. Okay, so now also take that into note as we go through this. Now, I've also built a 7-figure business this way. Here's how to exactly handle this in the right way. So think about this. When you're facing ungating, you have 0 sales in your account, or you're under 5 or 10K per month in your account, and you keep running into the ungating issue and finding products that are auto ungated. I built a 7-figure business while getting ungated manually in 5 times in 4 years, okay? And now picture that, all right? So here's exactly what you're gonna do step by step when it comes to sourcing and dealing with these gated issues. So first thing is you're gonna create a Google Sheet. When it comes to your sourcing process every day, I'm not sure exactly what you use to organize everything. I have many recommendations out there on how to organize your day-to-day sourcing process, but you're gonna create a Google Sheet right off the ground running of 2 tabs. One's gonna say gated and one's gonna say ungated. Very black and white, very simple. Many of the things that I'm gonna talk about, keep the business as simple as possible because it doesn't have to be, extravagant or very confusing for beginners. It's a very easy beginner business model, so let's keep it very beginner. All right, so we have gated and we have ungated. Now what these sheets are gonna look like, these master leads tracking sheets, what I like to name my leads, is gonna be one with the gated, one with the ungated, and they're gonna look exactly like this. Okay, so we have the date, the Amazon link, and the supplier link. Don't even worry about putting the ROI, putting the ASIN, putting all these other details and coupons in here. Over time, as you build out a master leads tracking sheet, you will have all of that. But the goal right now is to chase 5K or 10K a month and start to get some inventory inbound. Then we'll start to systemize and really get organized and get our feet under us. But you want to have 2 sheets like this. All of your leads for ungated, all of your leads for gated. And when you're sourcing on a daily basis, yes, list all of those leads that are gated on there into that sheet because it matters in the end. And same thing with ungated. And here's something important to know. I know the gated sheet will have a lot more than the ungated sheet, but don't worry, that will flip over time. This is literally what I did. This is what my sheet looked like. I would have 5, maybe 3, maybe 4 leads that were ungated that I felt like it fit semi to my criteria. And I would have hundreds of gated leads that I would have in here, whether I had a supplier or didn't have a supplier. Typically I had a supplier, and I would list it in here and say, wow, I have 4 products I can sell and there's 5,000 I can't sell. And I know you're going through the same exact issue, okay? Now, here's what you're gonna do. Sell this. Here's a potential product, and this is actually live on Amazon, this product. Now, you probably have no idea what this is. Don't worry, I don't either, but it's extremely niche. It's extremely non-specific, but it's a very unique product. I believe it sells for $49 a month or $50 a month. I don't remember the exact number, but this is a product that you want to approach and sell. So remember these products that I showed you in the beginning, right? Very niche, very interesting. We have Camphor, Finique, Glide Oxide, probably stuff you never heard about, mid to smaller size brands. Maybe obviously Gold Bond's a little bit bigger, but these are really mid to small to smaller size brands. You notice I'm not telling you guys to go and, start Amazon today and go buy from Nike and try to propose an invoice. That is the quickest way to never grow the business and to stress yourself out, to convince yourself that the business doesn't work, to chase those potential opportunities and items. So I'm telling you guys, sell this potential, very niche, unique item, all right? Maybe it's 15% ROI, very low. I consider 30 and plus good. It maybe has 200 sales per month and smaller seller competition. When I mean smaller seller competition, that means sellers on this listing who have stock have 5 reviews, 100 reviews, under 200 reviews, right? Even 50 reviews. That way you can jump on this listing tomorrow as a complete beginner and compete and actually get sales. Now this 200 sales per month number is important. Of course, you can do 100 sales per month as well, but the higher volume, the better, because your inventory won't sit at Amazon. The quickest thing you want to do with the business is getting inventory in and getting it out as quick as possible. It doesn't matter if the ROI is getting sacrificed. Of course, would you want a 100% ROI product? So do I, right? Let's share them with each other. But in the beginning, it's just not realistic. But the big thing is it's not about the money, okay? So this is what that does for you when it comes to selling that potential product and pulling that into your catalog. Because I guarantee you, when you get more niche and the brands that are much less strict of selling their product on Amazon, they actually want you to sell their product on Amazon. They're not going to give you as hard of a time. You won't be gated on all these smaller niche brands, even as a true beginner right out of your account, okay? So this is what that does for you. Number one, it gives you selling history on Amazon. You're proving to Amazon that you are a real business and seller on the marketplace. When you just open an account, think about it, right? There's millions of sellers out there in the world as well as the US. So when you open an account, there's not really too many hurdles to open an account. Your name, your social security, or your business and your address, then maybe a little verification process, and you're up and running. How can Amazon, a multi-trillion-dollar platform, trust you as a true beginner when you're competing with people who have been doing this for 10 or 15 or 20 years? Now, you can look at that two ways. One, I should never start this business because they already have it all settled. Or two, you're right. There's a huge opportunity. I have to prove myself to Amazon and keep the integrity of the platform by saying, I'm a real seller. So that selling history for Amazon says, okay, look, Jay operated in a proper fashion. He sold his inventory, and maybe we can trust him a little bit more by giving him more sales or giving him more opportunities and brands to sell. That's important to know, okay? And what that does is, number two, is auto ungates. You automatically start becoming ungated in brands. Remember all those listings that we saved here in the past that were so frustrating because this list was a much longer list than the ones that were ungated. Now you start to get auto ungated in these brands little by little for work you did months or weeks or years before. So now you have a catalog of all these gated products, and slowly you start to move 1, 2, 4, 5 into the ungated section, where then it becomes more common to be ungated than it does to be gated in a potential lead. All right. And number 3, you learn the business. Now I know this isn't directly related to gating, but this is more related to the business. And I always say this to everybody who talks about Amazon FBA, especially beginners just getting started, is the best thing you could do for yourself is learning what the process of buying and selling looks like. You buy inventory, you send it to the prep center, or you prep it at your house. You sell the inventory, you bring the money back into your bank account, then you buy more inventory to either reinvest a profit or reinvest, the inventory that you have into the business to buy more products. Now you have a baseline of exactly what works of buying and selling, and your confidence goes up to do more of what that was and do more of what now you feel like can work, okay? Because here's the reality when it comes to gating. Taking an invoice to get ungated is a Hail Mary now more than ever. And this is what it gets you. And believe me when I say that, it is literally a Hail Mary when it comes to buying inventory from any retailer or even a distributor or even the brand. I've heard stories nowadays of people getting ungated to send it into Amazon. Because guess what? If this is a newsflash, Amazon is using a ton of AI or even their employees who just don't auto-ungate anybody or don't ungate anybody for sending in an invoice. It can meet all of the requirements and they just say no. And for what reason, whatever it may be, their process is so backwards. Take it from me. I've seen it happen with so many different people. But take an invoice to get ungated, being a Hail Mary, this is what it gets you. Inventory spend is not going to work. Now, what I mean by that is that money you have to spend on inventory. I know, right? You might be thinking you have $1,000, $500, $2,000, or even $10,000. It's not going to work. because now you just invested $500 in a potential product that maybe will or won't get ungated, and it's just sitting there dead until you get ungated. And if it doesn't get ungated, now you have to go through the process of going through a return with your prep center, worst case scenario, or at your house to send it back to the supplier, wait for the refund to process to your credit card or debit card, and then try to rinse and repeat the same process. You didn't learn anything through that other than getting frustrated with the business, okay? And those return of products will get you extremely frustrated with the business because you might be losing money on shipping, on sales tax, or any other return fees that the supplier has, all right? And that gets you no good because it gets you no sales. You actually continue to lose money and your fees start to add up. And now you're just sitting, in the middle of the ocean in the Amazon world saying, this business does not work, okay? And number 3, no lessons learned. So one of the biggest things when it comes to taking it back into learning the business, you want to learn lessons of what works and what doesn't work at a very, very early stage. So that way, when you have more money, when you have more knowledge, you can scale at a very, very rapid pace and fast pace, right? So by not learning any lessons of sending money inventory in and out, it does no good. I know this 15% ROI doesn't look attractive like we talked about. I know it's something that ideal that we want to sell. Maybe 200 sales per month does look attractive, but this doesn't look great. We want to have stuff that has $10 profit per unit, 40 or 50% ROI, and create this big business in month 1 or month 2. Of course, I wanted to do the same. I still do want to do the same and help people do the same through these videos, but you have to learn lessons of what works, how this business works, what the entire process works like, because it gives you the confidence to do more. And by sending an invoice in, which is a Hail Mary, maybe a 1 or 2% chance nowadays to get it to work or get it approved, this is what you're sitting on, just a whole bunch of potential bad. And believe me, I'm saying this out of the good of my heart from seeing so many beginners go through this process. And I know maybe gating is a little bit more strict than it was when it very, very first started, 4 or 5 years ago or when I started, but it's the same exact principles that I see people who are starting the business who follow this and make it a much easier life than on themselves with expectations, okay? So remember this when it comes to gating. Amazon requires an official invoice, okay? An official invoice, not just a regular invoice. And what does that really include? That means not a retailer by their rules, which is Chewy, Walgreens, or CVS. Listen, 90% of people who get started with Amazon FBA and run into ungating are starting Amazon FBA OA, right? Typically not brand direct or typically not, wholesale direct or whatnot. So by getting an invoice from Chewy, from Walgreens, from Walmart, even worse, and sending it in is literally just hoping that an AI bot or they make a mistake and don't know how to read what the invoice is, okay? Because by their rule, these guys are not authorized resellers, distributors to you guys of the business. They want a distributor proper invoice from them, okay? Despite what everybody tells you online on all the ungating videos, that is just pure luck if that gets accepted. That's maybe, the AI getting confused, okay? And what that has to include on this invoice is a supplier name and contact, your name and contact, what exactly is on your Amazon business, 100 plus units, sometimes maybe 400 plus units, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on forever. I know you guys have seen it. There's so many details of what a proper invoice is supposed to look like. And that retail order confirmation that you get from Ulta Beauty or that supplier that you're buying from, Kohl's, it is not even close to what the requirement is. So I know you could sit here and say, well, how am I not getting ungated? Well, Exhibit A, right? It just doesn't even meet their requirements, so you don't even have an argument to make with Amazon. And think about this, even people who have brand direct invoices or wholesale invoices, which I've had, in the past, but I never had to submit them in for ungating, and those are getting denied. So what does a Chewy or a Walgreens or a CVS or Walmart invoice look like to Amazon or one of their employees or one of their AI bots, okay? And after all that, you'll probably still get denied, like I mentioned, okay? It's unfortunate, but they're just too unpredictable for approval, and that's just the reality of when it comes to Amazon. So if this is not the answer maybe you would have hoped for and just some magic method to get ungated, it doesn't exist. The best way to grow the business is to essentially ignore ungating. Do so much volume where maybe your sheet has hundreds of gated leads on it, but watch that change over time, and eventually 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 products that you have that are ungated, not perfect ROI, not perfect business growers to make you that fast or big amount of money in the early days, but what it does give you is that selling history, that little ROI. Even if it's break even, it gives you that experience in the business to now start to grow it. Take the pressure off of yourself and not have these high expectations to grow big in month 1 or month 2 with profit, but build it slowly over time and watch it compound. I've done the exact same process for 4 years, and I definitely never have to worry about ungating nowadays, as I have a bigger catalog of products that just keep turning to ungating. So there is an entire overview for you guys when it comes to how to handle ungating. You're gonna thank me so much for this in the future when you realize that the only way to really get around this is to ignore it and go right through it and just continue to have high volume of sourcing and find products that are auto ungated, and you'll see how it becomes much and much easier over time. Don't go through this. I've seen a lot of people do it. It just continues to not work. So as always, if you guys like the video, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments anything that you think or any videos that you guys want to see. I'm making one every single day from now on. So it's going to be really effective and a ton of information for you guys to learn the business and learn it the absolute right way. So I will see you guys in the next one.